Ladies and gentlemen, this is Abdullah from Freedom for All. In this video, I would try to talk about the major differences between heart and mind. The spiritual heart is the part of a person that is pure and without guile or deceit. It does not lift up the soul to what is false. The heart is the mirror that reflects God, and to see God, one must be pure in heart, meaning clear and unalloyed, without any obstruction or impurity. The heart is also the locus of imagination, where one can manifest one's desires by believing that they are already fulfilled. Now let's take a look at what Neville said about the heart. One in whom there is no guile, no deceit, and incapable of duplicity. That's the heart. Guile or deceitful means to deceive, and duplicity means to be double-minded. If you deny your desire then because of anything external, then you are being deceitful to self, or you are being double-minded with self. Being pure in heart, no matter what the situation is, you could never deny your goal, and you walk by your faith and imagination, not by your physical senses. Mind, or conscious mind, on the other hand, could often be false and deceitful. Mind is something that analyzes, doubts, and questions your goal. Your conscious mind can judge the things based on the evidences. So when you imagine with your mind, with logic and reason, your conscious mind can easily reject that as false because of the opposite things it physically senses from the outer visible world. However, when you imagine with your heart, you do it kind of limitlessly. You do it with no effort, and you do it with love. That's what Neville has suggested us to do. He told us to imagine with the heart, not with the reasoning mind. But how do you imagine with the heart? I think you can imagine with the heart by shutting off your physical senses. It's not that you have to close down all of your senses all day long, but at least when you pray or when you imagine, you have to assume a situation in which you are not aware of the external world. Just try it. So remember, the difference between the heart and the mind is crucial when it comes to conscious manifestation. You need to imagine with your heart, not with your mind. No matter what technique you use, you need to feel it real, not think it real. Feeling it real with heart is thinking from the end, and thinking it with mind is thinking of the end. Neville said, assume that you are the man that you want to be, or the woman that you want to be. And although at the moment of your assumption your reason and your senses deny it, if you dare to persist in that assumption as though it were true, that assumption, in a way unknown to your rational, conscious mind, will harden into fact. Your imagination knows how to actually build that series of events necessary to make it so in your world. Now I would like to share a beautiful mystical quote of Shams al-Tabrizi here. This may sound a little deep, but it's actually simple. Make your heart your primary guide, not your mind. Meet, challenge, and ultimately prevail over your ego with your heart. Knowing your ego will lead you to the knowledge of God. Your ego is the old version of you that your human mind still remembers, and your old assumptions that reflect in your visible world. It is normal to experience the echo of your past belief systems. But when that happens to you, you would automatically affirm or assume in yourself that this is not what expresses the new you that is pure in heart and decided to be free of ego. So when you find making it this natural, you would prevail over your ego, and that leads you to the promise of God, which Shams referred here as the knowledge of God. Now, what's the task of your mind? Of course, you should be mindless while imagining, but you cannot be free of it 24/7. I think the task of your mind in conscious manifestation is just to be calm in any situation. Because having a calm mind helps you avoid judgment, and it helps you observe self. When you do your daily things like office work or education or research, etc., in your external world, use your mind to analyze. But when you pray or decide to believe something, don't use your mind. Just shut off your mind for some time and imagine with your heart. I'll have a couple of more things to address here. You probably have heard Neville saying that your inner speech mirrors your mind, and your mind mirrors God. Yes, Neville Goddard did say this, but I think I should tell you that on this particular quote, he did not refer your conscious mind or logical mind. He referred here your unconscious mind. He also said in many lectures that heart and mind are synonymous, but mind in those lectures, he basically meant unconscious mind, which is synonymous to heart. So don't think for a moment that your reasoning mind has to be convinced to manifest something. If you purposefully try to convince your rational mind, you are most likely to struggle because your human mind is limited. It's true, when you are super pure in heart, at one point your mind may get convinced, but that is not the goal. Mind may get convinced when heart is aligned. I hope this video was helpful for you. Post your question if you have any. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.